If you're still at the stage of using lining paper from B&Q, I suggest getting at least 1,000 grain, as it is much less springy and the pattern won't roll up on you as much. You'll need at least 80 by 90 centimeters of paper, depending on your exact measurements. And the measurements that I'm using are in the description. And I'll link the Maurice Sedwell video for measuring up somebody again. As we usually do, we'll start with drawing a horizontal line down our piece of paper and another line at right angles to it at the top, a few centimeters from the top of the paper, marking the intersecting point as 0. From 0, 1 is the nape to waist plus a centimeter. So in my case, 43 centimeters down my line. From 0 again, 2 is the side depth plus 4 centimeters, so 25 centimeters down. From 1, 3 is down another 7.5 centimeters, though if you have a specific length for your waistcoat in mind, then we can use that from 0 plus 2 centimeters for seam allowance. 4, halfway between 0 and 2. From 1, 5 is 2 centimeters out. Square down to 6, then join 4 and 5, which creates the curvature of the back. 7 from 0 is a quarter of the side depth down, so 5.25 centimeters. And when we get fractions like this, just try and get as close as possible, so like 5.2. 8 from 0 is a quarter of the neck measurement minus 1 centimeter out, so 8.875 centimeters. From 8, 9 is 2 centimeters up, and you can draw in the neck curve. From 2, 10 is half back plus 1 centimeters out, so 20.5 centimeters. Square up for 11 and 12, intersecting 4 and 7 respectively. From 12, 13 is 2.5 centimeters up, join 9 and 13. From 13 for 14, go 2 centimeters up the shoulder line. From 11, 15 is back 3 centimeters. From 2, 16 is half the chest plus 5 centimeters out, being 24.5 centimeters. Square down for 17 on the waistline, being line 1. From 17, 18 is down another 14 centimeters. From 16, 19 is 2.5 centimeters out, square down, intersecting with 3 for 20. From 10, 21 is 1/6 of the chest measurement minus 2.5 centimeters, 13.3 recurring centimeters, in my case. From 16, 22 is half of the measurement between 16 and 21 plus half a centimeter away from 16. Square up to intersect with 0 for 23, join 12 and 23. 23 to 24 is equal to the back shoulder measurement, or from 9 to 14 plus half a centimeter. Draw a right-angled line out from 24. 25 is 1 centimeter along that right-angled line, down into the pattern. Join 23 and 25 for the front shoulder line. From 21, 26 is 3 centimeters up. Join 25 and 26. 27 is 1/3 of the measurement between 25 and 26 from 26. From 27, 28 is 1.5 centimeters at right angles into the front pattern from 27. From 10, 29 is half the measurement from 10 to 21. Square up 0.5 centimeter for 30, square down to intersect 1 and 3 for 31 and 32 respectively. Join 14, 15 and 29 for the back armhole. In waistcoats there's no sleeve and it doesn't need to fit closely around the arm, so the only requisite for the armhole line that you draw is nice and smooth. also join 25, 28, 26 and 30 for the front armhole. The front edge will be 23 to 19 and 20 to 18. This is the front edge, not the center front, so you could get freaky with it. Move the brake line up or down, curve it differently, and that's about the sum of my imagination, it seems. 16, 17 and 18, that's our center front, so keep that safe. Make the front hem with 32 and 18. From 32 and 6, measure down 2 centimeters and join those points with a slightly curvy line. Two to 33 is half the measurement between 2 and 10 plus 2.5 centimeters. Square down for 34 and 35, intersecting with 1 and our new bottom line, respectively. For the back dart, measure 1.5 centimeters centered on 34, so 0.75 centimeters either side, and close the dart on 35, the dart starting at 33. From 22, 36 is back 1 centimeter, square down for 37 and 38, crossing 1 and our hem. From 36, 39 is down 2.5 centimeters, which is the top of our front dart. Shaping 2.5 centimeters centered on 37, and taper the dart to 1.5 centimeters at the hem. At 31, shape 2 centimeters either side of the hem, the same for 32 except with 1 centimeter. Join the back's side seam from 21 and the front's from 30. For the front pocket, measure 5.5 centimeters along the waistline either side of the dart, for a pocket length of 11 centimeters, though it can obviously be changed if you have a specific purpose, such as holstering knuckle dusters, which, among other things I recently found out, are illegal in the UK. Square those points a little bit up and down. On the front one, measure down from the waistline 1.5 centimeters, and join it back up to the waistline at the back point. For a top pocket, measure straight up from the front of your current pocket. Measure 15 centimeters up from the bottom of the bottom pocket to find the bottom of the top pocket. Knowing YouTube, I might get demonetized for that sentence. Measure 9.5 centimeters back to find the back of said pocket. Measure up 1.5 centimeters from that back point and join that up to your front point. For the button locale, start maybe 1 centimeter below the break point, which is also the point we use for the side depth, and maybe 1 centimeter above the bottom line, line 1. Divide the length by 4 for the difference between each button. The non-functional button is best put the same distance between each underneath the 5th, and the same distance from your front edge as the rest. It is purely aesthetic. At this point, before we cut it out, we want to check the waist and chest measurements. On the waistline, measure from the center front between the darts to the back, and take off 3 centimeters for the seam allowance, and double it, to compare to the waist measurement. If you want to, you can increase the size of your darts or side seams as it pleases you. But if you change the front dart, change the pocket to match. At the chest, just measure from the center front again to the back line. Take 3 centimeters for the seam allowances again, and double check against your chest. Here I've decided to take about 1 centimeter off the back, which is 2 centimeters off of the chest. And blocking here isn't exactly on point, is it? I'd imagine that cutting out the pattern is quite self-explanatory, but I'll leave this in to be explicit. Labeling your patterns is important. You should also keep an index of your patterns as well, just with details, the measurements you used, alterations you make later. I'm not really sure though. Every other tailor ever, and everyone else in the business though, will tell you to label exactly what each individual part is and how many you need to cut. But I really don't think that's necessary. It's yours and you know what the design is, you know how to use it. I just code it, and again, the details are in my index. And since I don't have a big boy hole punch, I just need to cut a hole into my patterns and tie a piece of string into a loop and stick it on a hanger in my closet. Later on I tried ironing it, medium heat, some steam, and now it's hanging down properly a bit better. It's funny, or annoying, that the picture quality is quite good to the point that I could almost do it in one take, as it were, instead of cutting to close-ups constantly and gone through all that extra work editing. I remember pattern drafting videos being easier.